Welcome to the Survivor to Thriver show with your happiness expert, Samia Bano. Do you feel stuck, silent, and stressed? Is something hurting your heart and soul? Are you burning yourself out? If so, you are in the right place because this is the podcast people from all over the world join in to learn exactly how to stop suffering and start living with inner peace and joy. Let's get started. Last time, I was talking to you about how figuring out our life meaning and purpose and how we're going to live our life meaning and purpose. These are questions that it's not enough to answer them just once in our life, to figure out the answer to these things once in our life, because guess what? Our world is in a constant state of change and growth. And if we are going to survive in the world, we have to be able to change and grow with it. And so as we change and grow, our visions and goals and dreams and our understanding of what our life meaning and purpose is, or how we're going to live it, they will grow and change along with us. And that is exactly what I have found to be true in my own life. I was telling you that the very first time I went through a very systematic process that helped me to get clarity on my life meaning and purpose, that helped me to get clarity on even an action plan, a sense of this is how I'm going to live my life meaning and purpose. The first time I had that experience was when I was in college. It was, in fact, my very last quarter in college. I was going to graduate at the end of it. And I thought it was like really great timing for me because I'd been, really struggling to figure that out, figure out what in the world I was going to do with my life once I graduated. And honestly, when I was thinking about, okay, what am I going to do with my life after I graduate, I really wasn't thinking about it in the context of what's my life meaning and purpose. No, that was just something that became clear for me as I went through the process in the class that I was taking, the class on the most effective methods for creating social change. That is what the class was called, but a big part of that class was to help us develop our own portfolio of our visions, goals, and dreams. Because guess what? One of the most important aspects of being able to create effective change is having a clear vision of the change that you want to create. So in this class, we not only learned the theory of, okay, this is how you create the most effective change, we actually started to practice those skills and implement those skills in our life, and that knowledge, implement that knowledge in our life. And one of those skills and one of those bits of knowledge was, okay, you need to develop your own life vision. So that's what I did. I went through the process, and sure enough, by the end of the class, I had, it's like this, I think it was like probably like close to a 15-page long document that I produced that contained all the details of my visions and goals and dreams and how I was going to achieve them. And the thing about those vision, goals, and dreams that I came up with was that for me and where I was at in my life at that point in time, they were big, bold, hairy, audacious visions, goals, and dreams. See, because that was another really important lesson that I learned through taking that class, was that, the challenges that are facing us in our society, in our world, they're big challenges. And many of them are also extremely urgent in their need to be solved. And big challenges cannot be solved by small thinking. See? So if you're going to create positive change, if you're going to be able to tackle the kinds of big challenges that we are faced with in our society, in our world, then we need to come up with big ideas. Big, bold, hairy, audacious ideas for creating change in the world. And the processes that we were going through in the class were designed to help us tap into our creativity and tap into our source of courage and boldness, audaciousness. And so those were exactly the kinds of visions, goals, and dreams that I produced, you see? Now, there were many different elements to my vision, goals, and dreams. Because, hey, you know what? If you're truly going to come up with visions, goals, and dreams that are connected to your life, meaning, and purpose, they have to be holistic. They can't just all be about one part of your life. See, because your life is not one-dimensional. Your life is not just one thing. There are many different aspects to your life. There's your life in terms of your personal relationships, your friends, your family. Then there's life in terms of, the work that you're going to do or the career that you may have. There's your life in the context of, how are you going to spend your time in terms of playtime, relaxation time? Because those things are essential to maintaining good health, good spirits. How are you going to deepen your sense of spirituality and feed your soul, right? So there's all these different aspects to our being and to our lives. And our life meaning and purpose, if it's truly our life meaning and purpose, will address all of these different areas of our lives and will facilitate our living as our best selves in all of these areas of our life. Facilitate our being able to live with inner peace and joy relative to all of these areas of our life. So there were a lot of different aspects to the dream that I saw for myself, so the visions that I saw for myself. At the core of it was my ultimate purpose, my ultimate specific purpose. See, the ultimate purpose, the general purpose, is to love and be loved. But my specific purpose, the specific way in which my heart and soul said I have to live that purpose, is to teach and share with the world what I have learned through my own journey of healing, my own journey to achieving inner peace, so that other people don't have to go through that same kind of suffering that I did, at least not insofar as it can be avoided and that it is unnecessary. When you have the right knowledge and you have the right skills and you have the right kind of support, it's like, okay, all right. So my specific purpose is to share with people what I know about how to live with inner peace and joy in their lives, how to heal from trauma, how to eliminate the sense of suffering in their life. And one of the specific aspects of how I was going to do that work, engage in that work, the vision that I saw was, okay, I need to create a school. And at that point in time, I saw a school, and it was like this. I saw in my vision, it was like, oh, it's like an old abandoned warehouse in the middle of, a city somewhere in LA. And I convert that old warehouse and turn it into this school. And, we have like maybe 5 or 6 different kinds of classes that we teach in the school. Each class has about 40 to 50 students in it. And we teach them things like self-defense. We teach them, how to heal from trauma. We teach them about how to figure out their life meaning and purpose and how to live it. Sort of like, the class that I was going through at that point in time. I was like, hey, I could teach something like that class in my school. Teach yoga and other forms of exercise that, really help us to heal and take care of our bodies. Teach people how to live in more environmentally and socially responsible ways. Because one of the lessons that I had already learned by that point in time very clearly was that we are all interconnected and we are all interdependent. My wellness, my happiness is connected to your wellness and your happiness. I cannot achieve inner peace and joy and happiness for myself in a bubble. And neither can you. So we have to learn how to live with more, environmental consciousness and social responsibility. And so I was so excited, by the way, by one of the reasons why this vision excited me so much was because it allowed me. Remember how I was telling you that there were like at least 7 different things that I'd really, I was struggling with, like I could have done any of those 7 things, dedicated my life to any one of those 7 things, and it would have been a life well lived, great service done. But I couldn't settle on any one of those 7 things, because there are parts of each of those things that, some parts that I liked and some parts that I didn't. But when I saw this vision of this school, it was like, oh my gosh, this vision of this school is a way that I can bring all of that together. I can bring the best of all of those 7 different things that I want to do and bring them all under this one roof, teaching about them under this one roof of this one school that I build and I create. And of course, I wasn't going to do that on my own. Like, okay, yeah, I need to build a team around me. I need to find, I'll find these awesome people, brilliant people who have passions and goals that are connected and intersecting with mine, and who has skills and strengths that complement mine, and we'll form an awesome team. And then we'll create the school that is focused on teaching people how to stop suffering in their lives, that will share with people the skills and the knowledge that I have and that my team members will have about how to live with more inner peace and how to heal if they've, survived some kind of trauma or whatnot in their life. So I was like, wow, this is so cool. This is so amazing. This is so awesome. So by the way, this is one of those little things, like, those little tips that I can point out to you right now in terms of a lesson that can be learned from my experience. See, it's like if you are one of these people who, like me, are like, oh my gosh, there's so much I'm interested in, and there's so many different things that I can do, and I'm just so confused about what to do. It's like there are a lot of times, see, everything's connected, everything's interconnected, everything's interdependent. And part of why you may be finding yourself feeling so confused about, should I do this or should I do that? And each one of those things seem to be equally good or equally not good. The problem could be that you're just examining the issue, examining your prospects from a very narrow perspective, or at least not very, even if it's not very narrow, it's not broad enough, it's not holistic enough. So it's like if you take a bigger picture perspective of what your strengths are, what your values are, what your interests are, and what you really want to do in your life, you'll begin to see how all your different interests kind of intersect with each other and how they connect with each other. And it is in those places of intersection that you will find some of the best ways in which you can live your strengths and your values and bring together your different interests, so that you don't have to make don't have to feel like you're making like these really tough compromises, or just choosing things that are like, oh, I only like part of this, or oh, I'm not able to do something else that I really would love. No, it's like, find those points of intersection that allow you to bring together your different passions and your different strengths and your different values and so on and so forth. What are those points of intersection? So let's make that your homework for today, or your assignment for today, is if you're struggling with this challenge, just brainstorm what those points of intersection could be, what they might look like once you begin to implement them in your life. You may want to free write about this. Just dream up different ideas, different possibilities about how you could bring your different interests in terms of finding and identifying those points of intersection. Okay, now, if you find yourself struggling with that, you know what to do. Do not struggle with it all by yourself. Get some help, get some support. You can if you do have any friends or family that you can reach out to help you with this. If you do, then please reach out to them. And you can also reach out to me. You know how to do that. Just go to my website at www.academyofthriving.com. Click on the Contact Us tab, and you'll see different options for how you can connect with me. All right, so I look forward to hearing from you. But in any case, until we connect next time, I wish you lots of peace and joy.